Okay, let's see how things are working tonight. Let's see if we are working better. Do we have sound tonight? Do we have color? Let's see. Everything looking good. Okay, I see people coming in. That's a good sign. So we had a little bit of fun last week on the Santa Land show. We had no sound. We had absolutely no sound for a few minutes. Oh, good. We've got Wendy here. We've got Annette. We've got Mary. Miss Mary, I will let Miss Jamie know. Jamie, Miss Mary says hello. And Walter's here. We're okay, good. Good. Now, hopefully at some point we'll be able to stream on Facebook. Not sure. We're trying to get that part figured out, but we've got it figured out on SBK Gifts. Hi, Cindy. Glad you made it. Okay. Good. Everybody's here. Not sure if we are seeing anything on Facebook. Let's see. Oh, yes, we are seeing things on Facebook. Perfect. Jamie, hit a refresh and see that you can see that, because guess what? Miss Jamie is going to try to moderate on Facebook tonight. Oh, thank you, Mary, about the glasses. Oh, Miss Jamie was giving me, heck, these are brand new. Brand new. Love it. Okay, can you see the live now on Facebook, Jamie?
All I see.
Okay, but you can see a refresh. You can see the live, correct? And you can see comments? If you are watching on Facebook, do me a favor. Jamie is working back up with me and trying to learn. We're trying to figure out about moderating. So see if you can put a comment over on Facebook to see that it's showing up. So see if we can see the comments. I'll let you go. Okay. Oh, Cindy says hi to you, Jamie. Wendy says hi. Okay. So let's get this show on the road. We'll see if the Facebook part, we at least are streaming on Facebook. We'll work on getting the moderation working with Facebook. But, we'll just keep growing this together. So if you are brand new, welcome. Will you put in the comments if you're a first-time watcher? Put it in the comments. Great, we've got a comment there now that you should be able to see it, Jamie. Okay, so scroll down and look in the feed. Hit the refresh because I can see Wendy's comment. If not, we'll just go with it and we'll look at this afterwards. No problem. Hi, Ken. Glad you made it here. Let's get a little bit of a warm up. So if you are watching us on Facebook, you can just watch. You can't shop. If you are watching us on YouTube, you can just watch and not shop. If you want to watch and shop, please head over to sbkgifts.com and look at the very first tab, and it's going to say Jingle Jill Live. Click on that. You're going to see me in the show, and you're going to see all the comments coming down the side, and we will do a warm up into this with some previous Inga pieces so that you can see how everything works. Hi, Jerry. Glad you made it. It looks like we've got a great show. So this is going to be a two-part show tonight. It's going to be part 1 tonight on Inge-Glas, and then the following Tuesday, we're going to do a wrap-up with the remainder of the arrivals for the Inge-Glas. We have received all of our shipment of the 2026 collection of Inge-Glas, which is made in Germany, and everything is ready to ship. So anything that you see is in stock and available for shipping. So without further ado, let's get a practice run here going. And I will bring up the first piece. And if you look on the screen down below, you will see a piece showing. So we are going to get started with an oak leaf. And like I said, guys, this is a previous piece, but we're trying to kind of do a warm up so that if you're new here, you kind of see how it works. So this is the Inge-Glas oak leaf. And look at that. Size-wise, this little oak leaf is 3 7/4 inches long. 3 7/4 inches long. And I'm going to close that out. And I'm going to close that out so that I'm not distracted. So this is little oak leaf from Inge-Glas. If you are brand new here, you're going to see that down below, if you're watching on SBK Gifts, it will say add to cart. And if you like this piece, you can add it to your cart and you will see the little bag above it. It will do an increment and add one, and it'll show you everything that's in the cart. Now, I have one homework assignment for you. If you guys like things, I want you to hit those little hearts if you're watching on our website, because it's kind of a way to share that you like it, or you can leave comments in there. I'm also moderating the comments here on the website. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to put that in the comments. So this is the oak leaf. It's a 3 about almost a 4-inch ornament from the Inge-Glas. If you do a fall tree, this is a great neutral piece. It could even be used for Halloween. So that's warm-up piece number 1. Glad to see you back here, Leanne. Always so good to see friends. Okay, second warm-up piece. And I have seen people, put my little cursor there. I have seen people buy multiples of these pieces. So this piece is called Candlelight, and Candlelight from Inge-Glas. This actually comes in a variety of colors. I'm showing you the red one, and it is a clip-on ornament, a good strong clip-on at that. It has gold glitter, like a gold micro ultra fine glitter, so that it looks like the candle wax dripping down the side of the candle. And then you have, what would you call that little container that's underneath the candle, Jamie? I have no clue what to call that little holder. It's probably got a formal word. Any clue? I know what it's to, but I don't know what the formal name is. Does anybody know in the comments? Put it in the comments. But it just has this cute little metal catch the drip like it was being caught. And I'm going to put that there so that my camera catches it. So this little candle is available I have it in a white, ivory, and I have it in a red. And in fact, I had a lady last year that her house caught on fire in the Palisades fire, and she had 24 of these that she used to decorate throughout her tree, and she wanted to replace it and recreate it. So we helped her get 24 of her candles so that in her new home she could have something of an old style that she had before. These are 4.5 inches. It's a Bobeccia. I have no idea Okay, it's spelled Bobeshe. Neat. Okay, or CHE. Who knows? Bobesh. Okay. We learn something new every day. Well, I guess we learned something new. So this is candlelight with the cute little gold Bobesh, if I said it right. And Mary Gray even told me how to pronounce it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so this next piece. So we're on our third warm-up piece, and then we're going to dive into our first of the new introductions. Let me bring up this little guy. Up next, we have Kender of Wisdom ornament. And I love these little, it's like such a porcelain face on these. And look at those little blue eyes. These are like the snow children that I used to see from the 1950s, 1960s. It just has that very, very old world feel. Look at the eyelash glitter there so that you have like a really icy look, like it's all frigid, and that it's just a delicate matte finish here. I love this little piece. This is 4 inches in size, and if you like this style, guys, there is probably 3 other little styles of kids in this very, very matte and milky white. One's like on a sled, I think, and another one's holding, is it ice skates, Jamie? I think so. But yeah, if you look on the website, there are some ones that accompany it, but I just wanted to give you a good variety of the styles of pieces. I absolutely love this little piece. Kender of Wisdom ornament from Inge-Glas. Okay, who's ready to go see some new pieces? Let's look at some new pieces here. We'll start with 2 new reflectors that we got in. Let's start with the reflectors. Inge-Glas has wonderful reflectors. I'll start out, and their reflectors are always a nice size, very delicate and very simple, elegant. I don't know how to describe it. It's just a very elegant and simple, classic design. So the first one up, let me pull this one up. Wendy, you need to buy a new tree. I think there's a lot of us that need to buy new trees after we get going with these. It's too hard. Okay, so up here is called Silver Shine. And Silver Shine, let me take the tag's okay there. Silver Shine is exactly that. It's a super, super shiny silver reflector, like you can see everything in there, with a very, very, very ultra fine white glitter, flowers, explosion, I don't know, kind of there, but then a very basic but very reflective reflector. Size wise, this is an excellent size. It is 12 inches. So this is a 12-inch reflector, and it has a very nice opening, and it goes all the way up. Sometimes it's kind of fun to be looking there. Look at that. Look, if I push really close, you can see how deep that reflector comes in there. So if you were to put this down on a tree, look at how deep that reflector is. You just would want to be very careful. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Have you guys ever looked up the end of a reflector to see the inside of the glass? I think that's so cool. So this is Silver Shine. and it's a 12-inch reflector. And then there's an accompanying piece that it's truly not an accompanying piece with it, but it looks perfect with it. So let me pull it up, and then I'm going to put them side by side. Let me pull up the itty bitty baby one. I've lost my scanner. I get going and talking. This next one is called Silver Shine Floral Glow. Look at how sweet and cute this little reflector is from Inge-Glas. Brand new for us this year. This is Silver Shining Floral Reflector, and it is 8 inches. 8 inches. And it is in that super shiny silver. And then it just has some simple floral accents around the reflector. And you can see that it's just a super deep silver, highly, highly, highly reflective reflector. Let's see if I can get there. I don't know that I can focus this one to see up the reflector. But on this one, look at these as a little set. Okay, Mary says, and that's a good question, Mary. How do you put something like that on a stand without hitting the reflector? Is there a trick? Okay, so there's 2 things that I do, because I actually have a 1995 Christopher Racco reflector that is the peacock, the gilded peacock. And it has a deep reflector in it. So what I make sure that I do is, first of all, I make sure that what I'm using up the top of it is not super thick. So if I'm putting it, say, on a stand, when I go down onto the stand, I'm actually going towards the back. I look to see how deep that reflector is, and I go down towards the bottom. So I keep my pole towards the bottom of it. If for some reason your opening is to the point that you don't want to hit the reflector, then I work on using something here to stabilize it. So like I might put some batting, some extra batting to keep it from going there. And then you can usually just pull it out. So that's a way to stabilize it. So that's kind of what I do. I just go super, super slow putting it down, because you will feel it, tap it, and get near it. And then you can kind of try to adjust it. But these reflectors are pretty sturdy. Not that you could just shove it down, but you know, if you tap it just gently, it shouldn't break. So anyway, so I just think that these 2 little tree toppers together are absolutely adorable. And then, of course, all of you probably have heard, if you have been watching, of course, my daughter got engaged. Yeah, okay, we're gonna run that into the ground, aren't we? But you know, it is wedding time of the year, and so I had to show you this one other little piece that is a brand new introduction. That would be an adorable gift topper. Or if it's just somebody that you casually know, this would just be a nice keepsake. So it's a 3-inch ornament, and this is called Bonds of Love. Bonds of Love. And it just has the 2 rings, some simple little roses, and then a stone, which is just a little gemstone on the heart. So super sweet. I could see this being a wonderful gift topper. Maybe this is somebody that you want to just give them, you know, money for their gift, but you also want them to have something that they can remember every year that they put it on the tree. This would be a perfect piece. This is Bonds of Love by Inge-Glas, new introduction. It makes you want to get married. There's been some good ones, huh? Almost. You're funny. Okay, keeping on the new stuff. Let's go to these little pieces. So Inge-Glas did some wonderful miniature pieces, and I've got my box going here. Let me pull up this piece. I'll pull up the fun one first. This one's just kind of silly. This is not Christmas. This is like for the kids that are maybe into animals, or maybe you have an animal themed tree or something like this. But the size is awesome. Look at this. This is called Tiny Monkey. And it is exactly that. It's a tiny little monkey made in Germany. It's a molded piece, and it's 2 inches, so just a little shy of 2 inches. And this is Tiny Monkey with his little banana. But look at the little texturing and the shading on the back. And then his happy little face. So this is Tiny Monkey. Super, super, super light. Perfect for a feather tree, a miniature little tree. Maybe you're just doing a small themed tree. So Tiny Monkey. And one of the things that we focused on this year is to make sure that we brought in several different mini little styles. So in between today and the next show, you're probably going to see close to a dozen different minis that we brought in. Some of them being just kind of animal themed, others being very Christmas themed. So while we talk about that, let's bring up the second little mini that we have for tonight. And this little mini, hold on, here he comes, is perfect for baby's first Christmas, a newborn. It's called Christmas Duckling. Christmas Duckling. All of these little minis are approximately 2 inches in size, and it's a simple matte finish on this little duckling with the Santa hat, and just a very, very ultra fine glitter for the palm and around the band. This one actually does sit flat, so you could hang this or sit this flat. Now, I don't know if you know this, and I'll show you this way. This is a way for you to always know that you are getting an Inge-Glas. So this little 5-point star up there is an Inge-Glas specific hanger. This is on every piece that they do. So, and they've done this for quite a while. So you'll see this piece. In fact, you even see this piece at one point. Inge-Glas was with Old World, and you would see this old hanger on the really, really old vintage Old World Christmas pieces when Inge was producing it. Did anybody know that fact? Huh? Did you know that fact? Okay, let's see. Let me show you another clip-on. I love this little clip-on. Are you guys digging this? I'm seeing some love. That's a good thing. That means you're liking what you see. This little guy is too sweet. Too sweet. Okay, so this guy is the Friendly Snowman. And he's a clip-on, and he's a super, I can barely pinch his clip open with the one hand because it's that strong of a clip. He is the perfect size at about 4.5 inches. And at 4.5 inches, he's got this cute little black glittered hat. And he's got his little broom that is actually little sticks all covered in snow. And then you have his red scarf just lightly dusted. And look at that profile with that corn cob nose. And then you have snow splattered on the bottom. I love this little guy. He is super sweet. He has a little bit of a personality, but he's like the perfect size. And look, my nails almost match his little scarf. So this is Friendly Snowman. I think they've done such a great job on the collection this year. Does anybody do Krampuses? Put in the comments if you do Krampuses. I'm curious if anybody does Krampus ornaments. I'll show you why in a minute. But before we go to the Krampus ornaments, I want to bring up this fun little guy. So put in the comments if you do Krampus ones. This next one that I'm showing you is called Chianti Mat Mushrooms in the Forest. So the Chianti Mat is, they do, so Inge-Glas goes through and does palettes of colors and finishes. And Chianti was one of their colors, which was like a red, like a deep burgundy red. And I love how they've done this inset reflector with this raised little mushroom forced. So the mat is for the finish on there. And this is just a simple German reflector. Diameter wise, this guy is about 2.5 inches wide. And height-wise, it's about 3.5. So it's about a 3.5-inch little ball. But I love how they have done the gold around the rim. But then you have that super wide, deep reflector. Like this reflector only goes in, it goes in a 1/2 inch. And then it goes into this raised and embossed scene of the mushrooms. So this is Chianti Mat Mushrooms Enforced. Now, this is why I was asking you about the Krampuses. Is because they do some wonderful Krampuses. And I'm not really good with German words. So if I butcher it, please, please forgive me. Okay, this is Krampus Emberfang. Emberfang? I don't know. We'll see. But this is their newest Krampus piece. And, if you do collect Krampuses, he is a wonderful piece. They have the shading on the back, and they just have these fun little horns. Now, Krampus really isn't a bad thing, Has anybody ever looked up the story? So many people try to say that he's like the devil, and I don't, that's not kind of how the story reads. So one of these times somebody needs to research that, or maybe we do an entire little story time on Krampuses, because there's so many styles and there are people that collect just Krampuses. But this Krampus head from Inge-Glas is 4.5 inches. And width-wise, with the horns, he's looking at about 3.25. So this is Krampus. And then now I'm going to show you one of my This piece is a favorite piece. Actually, though I didn't show it in the video, if any of you saw like the teaser of some of the video of pieces to come. But this piece, I think there's going to be some people that are going to add this one to their cart. Because this is stunning. Absolutely stunning. This one screams add to cart. This is Sparkling Bell. And I'm going to tell you that one of the things about Inge-Glas is Inge-Glas, because a lot of times their glass is so reflective, it's extremely hard to capture it and not have like your photograph tent showing and everything, and to get it so perfect, because this piece, even on the camera, is so hard to show without the reflections. But this is gorgeous. I'm going to move out of this way because it's trying to reflect on me. Okay, let me get this right. I will get this right. There we go. See, I knew I could make it do it right. Look at this piece. And this piece is so delicate and light. This piece is called Sparkling Bell. It is it's 6.5 inches. It has simple matte dimensional stars with accent glitter. I need to stay in front of my face so that it doesn't try to focus on my face. And then with little red accent stones. It has a little clanger. It is recessed there. And then the top of it is matte. So you've got this matte finish with the ripple at the top. Just keep it right there. I can do this. And then you have the little red stones accenting it at the top. Is this not a gorgeous piece? What is it? Yes, this can sit flat. It does sit flat, or you can hang it. Yeah, the clanger will go up in there, the little clanger, because it actually does not make any noise. It's just a little decorative bead. But this is a gorgeous piece. No, it doesn't. Yeah, I guess it does. It does. I was wrong. It does ring. I don't think it's good enough for a dinner bell, though. Come to your Christmas dinner table. Okay, I love Sparkling Bell. Let's go and let's see a couple of two more minis. Let's see two more minis. Love this guy. I'm kind of going all over the board so that you kind of get a taste of what came in. And then there's another whole bunch of styles that came in that we'll show next week. So just like the duck, we have the little Christmas owl. And he is, like I said, most of these are like he's about 2.5 inches. The little Christmas owl with his little hat. And like I said, the Inge-Glas is a super, super light and delicate glass. And I would say that on this one, it's just got a very nice matte finish. Look at how they've done a little shadowing on his wings. And then just look at the cute little eyes, how they have done the indents for the features in his eyes. So I think he's cute. I love it. Hi, Sheila. Glad to see you. Hi, Penny. Glad to see you. I've seen some new ones. Hi, Billy. Glad you guys have made it tonight. Thank you so much for coming in tonight. I love it when people come out and put their names in there so I can say hi to you. And I love when you guys pass the word that there's these shows going on. Let me show you the one more little mini. Of course, for the dog lovers, because we know that they're out there. Up next, and these prices are so great on these little guys. This guy is called Wolf. Yes, that's original. Wolf is Woof, woof, woof.
Like an arf arf.
Arf, arf, woof. I know it doesn't, it sounds like I'm saying wolf. Like a howl, but I'm not. So 2.5 inches. He's Wolf Bark Bark is 2.5 inches tall, and he's got his little Santa cap on. Now, guys, could you just imagine having a little tree that you have these little minis on? It would be so adorable. Like, look that, and like add the little duckling. I mean, too cute. Look at those. You can make such a cute little tree out of that. So, yeah, next week we have a bunch more minis. So, yes, even though we've got pictures up, you know what difference it is when you can actually see them in person. Look at how they changed the glitter on there. So, on the one, we had like a really, really matte finish. And on this one, we have more like an AB glitter. And look at how even his ears have all those colors in there. Super sweet. Okay, let's dive back to, and I'm going to put this over here for just a second. Let's dive back here to a couple of pieces. Let me get my scanner in the right place. Do you guys love these shows? Do you like watching and seeing these in person? Because I love doing them. I think it's such a great way for you guys to be able to see the collections and see the details up close. So this is called, and this is one of a variety of styles, but this is called Heavenly Reflector. And I absolutely love this. I've got a little piece of hair there. Hold on. Little piece of hair. There we go. Heavenly Reflector is one of those, if you can see from the side, that you've got the angel raised from there. And you've got a high matte finish on this. There's several of these. There's like some angels, some different paper cutouts. And those vintage paper cutouts are very, very German style. And then it's put on to a raised area so that it raises it out of the reflector. There are Santa heads in this style. And then there's angels. So definitely if you like this style, I would definitely kind of go back through the site. And I wanted you just to see some of the styles and the varieties that Inge-Glas creates. So this is Heavenly Reflector. And it is size-wise, this is about a 3.25 inch ball. I am so glad you guys love these shows and these videos. Your support and coming back and watching them is the reason I keep doing them. So we will keep having this fun together at 8 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Up next, we'll keep into the little angel theme, and you've seen how well they do with the little kids. They do this very old world style kids. Almost, I don't, kind of humbly like, but not. I don't know. It's like a split. Let's look at this one. All right. So Harold, let me, real quick, I'll come back to this. If you're looking for this piece, and it's the one that was on the screen, there was some choices. So when you click on it, you will see like 4 choices, 3 or 4 choices, and then you can pick it and find this. But there's several different styles in this collection. Okay, let's go back to Shine the Light, which I think is another little adorable angel. With Inga, I would say that you definitely see that the ornaments stay on a more petite size. So this is a 4-inch ornament, and this is called Shine the Light. And you'll see that they have down this really delicate matte finish face. They kind of have a lot of times that bright blue eyes, but it's always just a very porcelain matte face. She's holding a little lantern. There's her wings and her cape, her blonde hair, and just her red polka dots. So made in Germany by the Inge-Glas company. This is Shine the Light in a perfect size at 4-inch, super light. This is a great gift, maybe for somebody that collects angels, or even maybe you have a young granddaughter. So this would be a great piece to give, that is from grandma, that when she's 25, 27, 32 and decorating her tree with her own family, she'll pull this piece out and she'll say, Grandma got this for me when I was 4, when I was 6. It's a perfect piece for that. And then one more. Inge-Glas is really also does some fantastic little birds. So we had to pull a bird into the show. Have we done like a great variety tonight? We have seen all kinds of styles. This is called Birds of Paradise. I should say Bird of Paradise. And you've got a bird sitting in a dated nest. It says 2017 on the back. And look at those feathers where it has the little feather dots to decorate it. So this is Bird of Paradise. I keep wanting to put an S on it. That's because my in-laws grow birds of paradise out in California. I love it. So I just thought this was a fun shape. Yes, it's a dated piece, but you know what? I don't think that I really see the dated part. So size-wise, you're at a 6-inch, and I just thought that this cone shape was super fun, and I loved the feathers, and so that's why I pulled the piece. Let's go back to some of the new pieces. Heading back to new. So this is animals or Santas. Animals or Santas. Tell me in the comments, new animals, new Santas. I'll wait. We'll do one more repeat, and then I'll have enough answers in the comments, and we'll go that way. Animals or Santas? While I'm waiting for those to come in, here's another little clip-on, little miniature for squirrel. And this piece would be fabulous. This little itty-bitty squirrel is not even, it's like 1 7/4 plus the hook. Would be great with that leaf. Look at that little fall display. You put those two together, that'd be absolutely adorable. So this little clip-on squirrel would be perfect for your fall and even your winter display. I mean, we all need a little squirrel. Little clip-on, and this is super light, so fits on the ends of branches, super easy, goes towards the top of the tree if you need to fill that area. This is the Inge-Glas little squirrel. So the vote was for Santas. So we will go to Santas next. Up next in Santas, let me move them here. This is once again, German old world Santas. And I love this collection that they've done. Hold on, I lost my mouse. There we go. So they have a series in here. This piece that I'm showing you that's coming up next is a 4-inch oval with an embossed old world Santa placed on it. Now this is a printed piece on top of here that is not hand painted, but that is very true to the German styles where they did the postcards and they did the paper cutouts. Look at the platinum glitter that they have going around this. And then I love just the simple gold platinum star on the back. So they have done a series of these Santas. Let me bring it really close so that you can kind of focus in. Hopefully I'm not getting a reflection. Look at the old world child with the Santa holding her hand, the dollies hanging out of his bag, and just look at the very vintage retro feel that you have. And as you can see when you look, let's see if I can catch it. You can see that the Santa part is kind of embossed and raised. So they've done a series of these Santas. So this is the first one called Magical Holidays. And up next in that series, coming up, is Romantic Gift Giving. And this one is actually a larger oval. This one, the oval is about 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. All of these are in that platinum finish with that really, really sparkly platinum glitter around the edge. It has the embossed Santa, and then it has the star. So I think that this would be a really cool piece that would look fun on a spinner. Kind of imagine this being on a spinner and turning and then coming back around to the Santa. I think it would be a really neat piece and kind of a conversation piece. Yes, very, very, very Victorian feeling in that. I agree with you on that one. I love this whole series. And like I said, even though this is almost, a 6-inch piece, it's extremely light. So these easily could go on the tips of your branches if you're trying to layer things. I would not be afraid to put some of these on the tips of the branches because their ornament style is so featherweight light. Now, if you're, I'll go to the last Santa in this series, and then there's one more piece after that. Let's go to the other Santa, since you guys asked for Santas. This one is also called Romantic Gift Giving, and it's the single old world Santa with kind of like that Charlie Brown type tree and with the toys in his sack. And this is just classic German style. I mean, that old postcard style. You have the raised star in the back, and you see how they kind of elongate it and change it. So you kind of see how that is. And then look at how, hold on, I gotta get that. Look at them together. I mean, look at that. How neat of a set this could be together to add these pieces. I absolutely love this set and series that they put out. And the final piece, which I think is a perfect addition to accompany your Santas, is Dreamy Christmas. Dreamy Christmas is, of course, we all need that perfect little Christmas tree. Look at all the toys and decorations and the old-fashioned candles and the nativity scene down below and the nutcracker and the rocking horse. I mean, there is so much detail in this. And then you've got the Santa at the top. Yes, I agree with you, Annette. These would be extremely fabulous on a feather tree. A 4-foot feather tree with these would be gorgeous. 5.5 inches. This is Dreamy Christmas. Has that platinum ultra fine glitter. And then you've got the star on the back. And just imagine, guys, like, look at that as a series and together. Put that with all the other pieces. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I love that set. Now, let's see. We'll come to animals in just a minute. Some of you guys got this series last year, but I had to bring it out because I had no idea if there are some people that are new that did not get to see this. So I did bring out one of the series. Hold on. I know some of you may already have this. Harold, I agree with you on the Santas. Every one of them is equally as pretty. All right. So, there were 4 different sets of these. I brought the drops tonight. Tonight, it's a 6-piece set. And actually, I only have 2 of these sets left. This is called the Christmas Twinkles drop, and I absolutely love this set. They've done this in like a ball and a reflector, and then they've also done it in a drop. So it's a 6-piece set. They follow these same color combinations. This is a 6.5-inch drop, and each one has its own set of colors. So you have your hot fuchsia with your green and yellow reflector. And I'm just going to go through and show you the colors in it. Then you have your golden yellow with your red and green accents. And look at that glitter around the rim. That's your red and green accents on gold. Then you have your classic reds, which you have the green with a little pop of purple, but you've got yellow and green in the reflector. And all of their sets use this same color palette. Then you have this gorgeous blue with pink and yellow. And you can see how I turn this, how it just morphs. So it just morphs into its own shape. And this whole series is called the Christmas Twinkles. So even if you search up Christmas Twinkles, you'll find all the shapes. They have them in 3 different shapes of rounds, and then you have this drop series. And check out this chartreuse with this fuchsia. And yes, definitely, Mary, good idea. Guys, we have a outstanding layaway program. So you can put these in layaway, and it's so super simple. To put anything in layaway, all it takes is a 20% deposit, and then then we take the remaining balance, and you have 5 months to pay it off. And we take another payment on the 15th of each month. It's so super simple. And it takes one phone call to us just to get it set up, and then we take care of everything else. So yes, it's wonderful if you're looking at some of these more expensive sets and you have a little bit of time. This is perfect. So let me show you just kind of, this was one of the large from the same Christmas Twinkles series. I'm not going to pull this up. You can actually find this on the website. But to give you an idea, this is what they did when it was round. So this was one of the Christmas Twinkles in the large round series. And like here is the chartreuse. Just to kind of give you an idea. But those ripple reflectors, I mean, look at the reflectors just dancing. So if for some reason you want to add these, and I'm not showing them on the show, all you have to do is go to the regular website. You can add it to the cart, and you can add it with your things that you're purchasing tonight. And if you are wanting to do a layaway, you go to checkout just like you were doing it if you were buying it tonight. And when you get to the payment form, make sure that you just go all the way down on the payments, and you'll see an option that says monthly layaway payments. Select that, and you're off and on your way to being able to make it possible to add these pieces to your collection. I know several of you take advantage of it. All right, so you've waited for animals. So let's do some animals and start to wrap up the night here a little bit. So on the animals, this was a wonderful series that they called Animal Christmas. There is 6-ish, 7-ish pieces in this series that go together. We'll start with the one that makes sense to me. That's kind of fun. Let's see. Let me pull this up. This is Animal Christmas from Inge-Glas. This is called, there we go, Luna Sheep. So this is Luna Sheep, and I'm telling you, watch this set come together. It's absolutely stunning. Luna Sheep is a cute little angel that's a sheep in light blue. And you're gonna see how the colors come to life on this. So this is a 5.5 inch Inge-Glas from the Animal Christmas Luna Sheep. Look at those raised wings. Has that pearlized matte finish. And like I said, just look at that little profile on the blue eyes. Then next in this series, they have, it's like the whole forest of animals. And that's what's kind of cool about this is they're all Christmas themed. And it's like a forest of all the animals coming together. This is called Fox in a Festive Wreath. And he is 5.5 inches. And he has a cute little, really, really micro, ultra fine green wreath around him with just some red stones. But look at how nice that face is. I mean, it's got like such a pearlized matte finish, and it's just as delicate and simple. Here is the pieces where the glass and the shape and the painting speaks, because it's just lightly coated with glitter, not overly done. Now, the third piece in this series, of course, we all know we need a wise owl. We all need a wise owl. So the wise owl, we've got the owl from the Luminous Force. Look at him. So this is, now they're each sold individually, but it's a series that has been put together that is called Animal Christmas. So the owl he is just at 4.5 inches. Look at his little shiny eyes up against his pearl matte feathers. Little bit of accent on his buttons there. And then his little shiny vest wrapped around. And you've got his embossed wings. But just start to see how this series comes together. Look at how nice those look together. It's a very, very pretty series. So that's why I grabbed every one of them so that you could get the entire series. But this next one, we have a question for you. Okay, so Jolly Jamie and I know we could Google it and figure it out, but that means we have to slow down on everything else that we're doing, and that doesn't always happen like we should. So this next one's called Prickly Christmas Surprise. So you guys helped me on the candle, and it's called a bouquet, I think. I think that was right. I think that's right. Okay. So now we've got the next question for you, since you guys can help us. So what's the real difference in between a porcupine and a hedgehog? Now we know that a porcupine has prickly things and a hedgehog, but we can't figure out if this, because his name is Prickly Christmas Surprise. But we think he looks more like a hedgehog. So I'm really perplexed. So what do you guys think? Do you think that Prickly Christmas Surprise, is he a hedgehog or is he a porcupine? Not sure. Congratulations, Billy, on getting some twinkles. The series is awesome. You'll absolutely fall in love with them when they come. So what do you guys think? You think we thought it's a hedgehog too, but then why is it called prickly? Prickly. Because prickly makes us feel like it's a porcupine. So the verdict is out. Definitely a hedgehog. A porcupine is much larger and their quills are very long. And that's kind of what we thought. So we don't know where the prickly's coming from. So you can decide who Prickly is and what Prickly is, except that Prickly is really cute and looks really cute with his owl also. So we just love him, but we were perplexed on why his name was what his name was. Now, the next two pieces in this series is, and then of course we have the main guy, but the second to last piece, actually, I should say, hedgehogs have, Jamie, did you know that? Hedgehogs have short, stiff spines. Stiff pines. Wendy says hedgehogs do have like a quill like that, the pine, but they're short and stiff. I did not know that. I guess I do know that when I think about the other ornaments that I've seen. Yeah. Huh? I don't know. Wendy, do hedgehogs throw their things like porcupines do? Quills, pines, do they throw them too? Okay, we're turning it into a nature lesson. This is Santa hair. So we'll go back to Christmas. To be continued. No, they curl into a ball. Oh my gosh, we're going to have to go home and watch a YouTube on how to tell the difference in between hedgehogs and porcupines. I love though. Okay, so we're coming back to Santa hair because I've gotten off track and I've gotten a little goofy. So Santa hair is the second to last in the series. He's 5 inches, but I just think that he is so regal looking in his little Santa jacket with his spotted fur around it. And look at that gold glitter on his hat rim and that little shininess. And look at the matte finish. All of these with their delicate matte finishes just make them look so delicate and old world. Wendy, if quills come out and stab you, it's a porcupine. If it rolls into a spiky ball, it's a hedgehog. Okay, and if you drop a glass ornament that is a hedgehog or a porcupine, it's going to break. So don't try either. Okay, the final piece in the animal series is second to final piece because, well, animals. Yes, animals. Is the Nutcracker Bear. Up, you've got the Nutcracker Bear, and look at the coloring on him. He is 6 inches. He is a 6-inch bear, and he is the final piece of the animals in the Animal Christmas. He's got his little cobalt blue jacket with his little gold tassels. Look at his tail sticking out the back and how they've actually got the fur texture in there. And I mean, I just kind of keep putting them together. I mean, look at this series. I love this series. I just think that they are so cute. And the final piece in this series, and if you saw my video on picking favorites, this is one that I definitely did show. And this one is Santa in the Winter Forest. And I kind of say that he's like the piece that goes with all the other forest animals. He's got his little deer and his little owl, and it's Santa sitting in the winter forest. But look at those eyes. Is that the sweetest face? And look at how the glitter in his beard, it's just gently streaked in there, but his mustache is fully glittered. And you've got his gold glitter on all of his fur, and he's just sitting there with the owl and the deer at his feet. I love this piece. Size-wise, he is 5.5 inches. He's 5.5 inches. And I just think that he kind of finishes off the series. So let me get this tag out of the way. And you just kind of go out of the way there. I mean, just kind of look at that. Look at the little... They just look cute. The sizing is perfect with these. So I think it would be a great series, and maybe even as an idea, if you love the whole series, it might be something you put the series in layaway and you use it as a gift and you give a piece each year. Then you'd be taken care of for at least 5 or 6 years on your gift ideas. So that's Animal Christmas from the new 2026 collection from Inge-Glas. And for my final piece final 2 pieces. I'll do final 2 pieces. They're tree toppers. If there's anything that I haven't shown, definitely drop me a comment and I will make sure I get it in next week's show. So I'm going to show you 2 tree toppers, and that's because this is kind of a fun one. Hold on. Wind it back there, Jill. Coming up, if it will cooperate with me. It doesn't want. Let's type. 45513. Here we go. Had to do this because of the dog lovers. This is the Bulldog Finial, and it's a matte off-white finish with a light silver platinum glitter used, and then a bulldog on the top. It is a 8.5-inch tree topper, and it has a flat base, so you don't need a tree stand if you were going to set this on a table. You can set this flat on a table, but it has just a French bulldog at the top. And I bought this out because I think that there's a lot of people that have bulldogs. And it just has a simple decoration on the side, a typical floral pattern, and a bulldog on the top. But I just thought this was kind of fun, kind of unusual, like how many people have a bulldog ornament? Yes, there's people but do you have the finial? There, now you know. There's the finial. What is it? Jamie says it's a French bulldog. I'm a cat person, so I don't know the differences really well. I know they're cuties, but I just don't. They talk. They do sing to you, don't they? They crazy dogs. And by the way, I keep telling Inge-Glas to please, please, please make more tree toppers because their tree toppers are so gorgeous. And I even asked them last year, and I said, put this in your queue of ideas, and sometimes it takes a while. I said, I'd love to see a tree topper with the Christmas twinkle colors. So use the Christmas twinkles and make it, like a 3 or 4 ball tree topper, like a really statement type piece. Oh, would that be awesome? Okay, so this is Night Sky Reflector, and look at the reflection. That is reflecting, guys, because of coming at it, and then probably because I've got a red shirt on too, it's probably helping. But look at how deep that rippled reflector is, and you've got this ultra shiny red ball with just simple glittered stars, and then you have the tall spire on the top. And this piece is actually probably about a 13-inch tree topper. Now, one of the things that I will say is 99% of the time, you will see Inge-Glas do this fluted base down here on the bottom or platform base so that you can just use it for a tabletop, or you can use it at the top of the tree. If you decide to use it at the top of the tree, it can go down on your top just like you do a normal tree. And then sometimes people will just put some greenery around that or something if they even want to cover it. But this is my final piece for tonight. This is Night Sky Reflector Finial. I hope you guys have had an awesome time tonight. I hope you've gotten to see some of the newest of the collection, but we definitely have more coming next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have coming up on Thursday, Cart Confessions, what you left behind in your cart. Now, I have a promise. I won't reveal your name, that if I do show something that you left in your cart, I won't call you out. Your secret is safe with me. I won't embarrass you. But it will give you the chance to see that piece that maybe you weren't sure, or it looked real, you weren't sure when you looked at the pictures, and now you're going to see it in person. Kind of like tonight, you've seen it in person now, and it was made for you. So don't forget to put that on your calendar. It's 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Thursday. Cart Confessions, what you left behind in your abandoned carts. And then also, if you have the moment, go over to the Jingle Jill live page. I have our upcoming lives posted so that you can sign up with just a quick phone number, and I will text you a few minutes before the live shows starts to remind you about the show. So definitely make sure you go do that. Also, if you have not signed up for Kringle Rewards, please do that. With that being said, I've had a great time. If you guys have any thoughts, share them with us. But before that, remember, sparkling hugs. Oh my gosh. No! Sparkling I just froze because I've been talking so much. Sparkling smiles and glitter hugs. Share some glitter with somebody because it makes them happy. I love you guys. It's been a great night. I got tongue-tied. I'll see you on Thursday. Take care. Good night.